So my windows up, okay? I know what you're. So keep it going. Hi everyone, I am Tara. Hi everyone, I am Tara, aka Spirit Mother, and I'd like to welcome you all back to my channel on YouTube, Spirit Teaches Going Myself. On TikTok 1974 and my soul. Usually live on my Facebook also, but today I'm not because for some odd reason my camera's not working. Okay, I went through everything and was like, holy crap. But before I was coming in, my life today is about spiritual warfare. Okay, because what I'm experiencing today is a form of spiritual warfare. Okay, and I know like what's happening, and sometimes it makes you scream, and sometimes just makes you laugh. Okay, because earlier I posted a video saying about what this life is going to be about. Okay, this spiritual warfare of how people are towards us and what have you. Okay? Because no one is an exception to this spiritual warfare. It's happening to everyone. And we're doing it to each other, and sometimes not even knowingly. Okay? That's where you get a severe empath and you get a severe narcissist. Okay? And they go in the spiritual warfare. It's the psyche, it's the body, like the physical aspect of things, and the spirit aspect. So you have mental, physical, and spirit. Okay, so that's your three. And we're in the spiritual warfare. Okay, you say the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Well, the Father, the Son, the daughter, and mother, which would be considered the Holy Spirit, because the female gives birth to everything. And that's why what you're seeing in the world right now, it's an attack on women, and not just women, but feminists in general. Okay, because there's two parts, like there's two main parts to feminism. Okay, and you have the the women that I hate men and everything like that, and I understand that part of it because when you go through experiences, you tend to hate that sex that caused you the pain and suffering. So the spiritual warfare, it's on everyone, and it doesn't choose who it is. Today, I've been experiencing a lot of like with my computer and what have you, and the past week has been really messed up. Okay, a lot of the things were weighing on my mind, and just the other day, something big really transpired. Okay. Oh, you're okay, Milo. Transpired. And it was intense to the point where, like some people have fight or flight. Okay. What happens during a fight or flight? Your body evacuates. And no, I didn't shoot myself, but I did pee myself quite a few times. And that only ever happened to me one other, like really, like, I mean, it's happened, but like that, it's only happened a few times. And once was in 2006, I believe it was. It was after my car accident. And it was the New Year's Eve. I think it was a dance. And me and my sister and my mom were there. And it was like our family, like, family. And there was this guy, and he was sitting next to me, and he kept, like, he was talking to me. I was like, talking to him. I didn't really know what other people did. And he said about beer, buying me a beer. And that's what I drank. And I said, well, you can buy me a beer, but like, I'm in a relationship. It's like, it's not going anywhere because, that's what I experienced. Okay, that was part of the spiritual warfare. You experience that whether you're a man or a woman. I had someone tell me that, well, like, women get picked up on really easy at a bar, and men have a hard time. Do they really? Because I didn't go to the bar every day, but I did like to go out to dance every weekend. So I could see what was happening in the bar. And neither man nor woman had a problem. One Halloween, I had a guy come up to me, and I knew I knew the bartenders, and I knew the the wait staff and the bouncers. And this one guy come up to me, and I was dressed like a cat because it was Halloween, and he was like he did a purse out and commented, and it really creeped me out. Yeah, what was my point? Because I know it come up for a reason. And I told the bouncer, and the bouncer told me that, like there when I first started going there was a tarot card reader there, and he was a pretty good older man, like pretty good older man, and he was always trying to read my cards for me, and I was too cheap to pay for it. I get out. See, the thing is, every time you tell truth and you're honest and authentic, that's when it all releases like that. We're saying that's the spiritual warfare. Holy hell, man! Oh, the real fathers, man! And, oh, so this one night, like I sat down and I said, okay, I said, if you can tell me what past, I'll think about 300. I'll think about getting my cards back. So he's out there and he read my cards. Well, he told me that, and he did tell me that because he told me about things that happened. So this is part of warfare. I'm not saying that you people are going through this. Hey, welcome to the comedy show because that's what it is right now. We're not so, I wouldn't like it. Ah, but people don't know what's going on. Then holy shit, it's like I had someone tell me that someone they knew said that I had unclean spirits. Do you think? That's what I'm doing. Every time you speak your truth, it irritates what you class as demons, but it's the spirits because the truth hurts not only the physical but the spirit and the mind. Oye, estaba como uno de Shakari en los lugares y descubrí que poco it's like two owls for two kids at the same time. Holy heck. Oh. So you have your spiritual warfare going on within this family unit, shit, you keep secrets and what have you. Okay? So when the secrets come out, it's more difficult to comprehend, like what you're doing right now through your media, your political stuff, your education, your religion, spirituality, all the things that you're going through right now. That's the third spiritual warfare because it's causing as many conflict as you can. It's like that's what they're doing, causing as much pain as they can. And that's where we as a civilization, because we're different civilizations in different parts of the universe, whether people want to do that or not. Because you can't explain it and you're not known to it, you figure it don't exist. Like some people, they'll look at me like, oh, that's just foolishness. And I've had almost everybody in our family call me a cunt. And if I'm a cunt, because when I realize that conversation is getting anywhere with someone, then I won't. That's why I said in my videos that people say I have no respect. No, I actually have respect. You just lost it because it's part of the spiritual warfare. Like, so if you want to call me a cunt, I actually looked it up to find out what it meant in the United Kingdom. Something like that word. And you know what? I don't either. But I was told sometimes you just have to speak their languages. So I looked up the meaning of cunt in the United Kingdom because we use it as a derogatory word. And what ended up coming up, new beginnings, and the fool. It's the fool. So if I'm the fool, I'm very happy because thank you for telling me that I'm working on finding the new beginning. I'm writing my own story this time because that's the part of the enlightenment. That's the spiritual warfare that they don't want you getting through to be able to understand the concept. It's your way out of the rabbit hole of the matrix because, continuously go down the rabbit hole. But my question is, what rabbit hole are you going to go down? Because there's two ways to go through the rabbit hole. I mean, there's many rabbit holes, but there's two ways because there's the exit. So when you get through this spiritual warfare, and you realize that history repeats itself, and you realize I'm working with my ancestors, spirit, angels, guides, and all of you, and you may not even be aware of it. But whenever I connect with you, that's a rabbit hole that I go down. But I always know my way out because you need to navigate through the shift, which is yes, the shift. So you got the foil, okay? For the answer, you boil it down, and then you have different exits, right? Okay. You look at the coil, and you say, "Oh, the snake, that's the serpent, that's bad." If you think stuff like this is bad, you better drop that fucking electronic that you got in your hand right now because it's inside. Receive information. Isso é tudo aquilo. Isso é tudo shit. Don't use aromatherapy because it came from holistic. Don't journal because that's part of spirituality. Because it's spirit. There's a lot of them that are look at what's happening today. And then go back and I want to ask this. Everybody says about curses, right? How many curses do you realize that has been put over? Seriously. Because I've heard good many people say about curses. And, I have one really close to me that says, well, no curses is only. Really? See, the ones that deny the fact that they are experiencing something that they can't fully explain, they're injuring themselves. Not all things are good to look at. Finding a piece of glass is considered a treasure because in the beginning of it, my spiritual journey, and I started walking, I started finding different pieces of glass. And to me, the glass was the treasure because it kept me going. It gave me something to do while I was screaming, crying, talking to spirit, and going through all of the mental filing cabinet of the curses that kept us forgetting to be someone for so long. And then it was like there's a curse. Things would be going fine, and then all of a sudden it feels like everything's just ripped up from underneath you. The hardest part is seeing it. You can look at it, but you'll actually see it. I know people who've had experiences and they just dismiss them because the system tells you that you can't believe it. It's not comprehensive. It's not. It's not feasible unless it's like it's got to be processed something mentally, but it's something spiritual. People realize that mind is more spiritual mind with the heart because when they connect, then you see, feel, experience. There's that tree there. See, like you say about the Father, the Son, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, the Father, then that would make it four. So what is four? Is the number four not? Do you have not have like doesn't it have to do with beings? Much like, clients and fools, new beginnings. And they'll tell you it derogatorily in a derogatory time because they're angry. They don't see the other day when Nicole suffered, it was one major spiritual fight. started, they were all coming in. And they were ready to go. See, we're responsible for our actions, but I understand spirit. And that's something you need to learn to understand. It's up to you whether you do or not. But then you'll understand why we're all angry. Because when you watch this stuff, do you not understand? Do you not experience the anger? And don't you feel like you get more angry? And that's because you experience that spirit and it feels like your spirit's right. Because they have the same thing. So that's what you're observing when you get angry. But see, the thing is, I know that what they're not showing is everybody right. That's what they're not showing. Because as long as they can keep your spirit down, out, physically disabled, sick, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. There's four. The temple, okay, is the human body, okay, because it has the levels, it has the shepherd, like the seals, we'll say, because we're biblical people, that's what it is. It's the seals. And for spiritual people, seven chakras, seven levels. There's a seven. But didn't they say that Mary Magdalene was possessed with seven spirits? Could it be the seven sisters? Revelation chapter 5, it says, like, this is about spiritual warfare. I always want to encourage and really, like, go read the description of my YouTube channel, Spirit to Spirit, teaching of going within self. Then you'll have a better understanding of what it is that I bring home. It's a little bit of everything. Some make sense to some, doesn't make sense to others. But you see it happening when I'm channeling through. Because I'm not just channeling, I'm channeling spirit. So if I'm channeling spirit, then I'm most definitely channeling you too. And maybe that's why sometimes my channel just goes all over the place. Because everybody has something to say and they feel awkward. Revelations chapter 5 says about seven seals. Seven seals, seven chakras. Okay? Seven stars, seven spirits, which you call demons, seven trumpets, you know, sound of the trumpet, people saying you're hearing the trumpets in the sky, right? Seven bowls, okay? You have this seven crystal bowls. It gives a frequency. Seven deacons. You have seven stars, you have seven deacons. Female, male, masculine, feminine. My body's going through that right now because it's trying to sort through it to see if it's right. Seven deacons, the seven priests. Some people don't believe it that way. But if you really look and realize was Jesus or Yeshua really calm by just living through life? They had to experience life to understand life, to know how to teach how to cultivate. And I'm talking the matrix or the illusion, as some would say, come out of the apocalypse, making it through the apocalypse means making it through the truth. And that's why everybody is trying to get you to see it's time to go down the rabbit hole. See, spiritual warfare too is having things in plain sight and then all of a sudden removing them because they don't want you to know the truth. See, there was a viable cure for cancer. It was a pill, a cheap one. And they did that in Alberta, Canada, at a university. And that was like late 80s, early 90s, roundabout there. And it was on CTV News where they had a novel cure. Big pharma wanted nothing to do with it. And then the government said about giving funding, but never did. Would never give funding for a cure for cancer, but gives fucking funding to a pharmaceutical, big pharma. Y si no to crear su unión, goodbye, goodbye. Let's say come on, yalla kuya, no yo musu kuya. Kurisiya. They put it in plain sight, but they put it in movies. And a lot of times they will put the truth in cartoons and digitally whatever movies. Okay. So you take the movie, you have kids, you were a kid, probably watched it. Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. I believe it was called. There's two monsters, the girl, and they were scaring the kids. So they were scaring the people, scaring and causing fear to get a fear response. So if you're getting the fear response, the more fear you got from that, the scarier that occurrence was, and the fear you got from it, sad fear. It would just like shoot right up and who's your enemy. You think of it this way. If you're laughing and you're happy and you're excited. See, the thing is, they think that that's the word. They think that that gives you nothing. But see, it's the heart that speaks the loudest. The mind just sees what it's trying to say beforehand. And that's when they work together. But sometimes the heart can see what the mind can't. Because the mind will shut itself down. heart, people say, well, I can shut my heart off. You can. But a lot of the time, people are least likely to do that because if they don't love someone else, there is something that they still love, whether it be an object, they still put their energy. That's the spirit. That's part of the spiritual warfare. It's like getting your head kicked in or getting your ribs kicked in or punched in. Only it's not from the physical person, it's from a system. Because the cure for cancer, being it, and then them removing it, that was a kick in the face. And then they sent you to the hospital and said, oh, well, we can't fucking help you. Please get out. Sometimes they'll even get the security if you cause a bit of a disturbance because what they're doing was wrong. It's like that song, Dance Monkey. Dance Monkey. I like the song, but I'm not your fucking monkey. I will dance to it as many times as I want because I like it. Music is spiritual warfare. You listen to that gangbang, bitches and hoes and killing and everything like that is just violence. That's when you say, okay, don't you think it's time that we look into this? Yes, they make a publicidad. It's like two people spoke at the same time and it kind of veered off. The hands look like, oh yeah. No, it's they say that, oh, no. I mean, I'm going to be honest, the frame of mind that you're in, even if you were being put through this, the frame of mind you're in, you wouldn't survive it. That's why I say I do not wish this on my worst enemy. Although sometimes you really want them to, but see what it feels like. And it comes with its nightmares. See, we live in a physical spirit world. It's like being able to move to, because for every good girl, people say like every girl wants a bad boy. What do you see to be a bad boy? Someone that deserves you think, kicks the shit into somebody. What do you consider a bad boy? Because any normal person would not want a bad boy like that or a bad boy. And if you do, my question is, where did it all start? And where did it become? Oh wait, when they started normalizing it because it was so frequent, because it was fucking doing anything about it to help the people. Here's your spiritual warfare. Only people are shaming and mocking people like myself for speaking up and, stepping outside of the system so that we can see what's going on. See, I understand where people are coming from and they get scared and they just want to go back in and forget whatever happened to them, but it doesn't go away because when it comes to the surface, that's where your house is. Not what happened, but the effects that it caused from you suppressing it, trying to bury it or repeating it. That's what you do. But the world is close the band-aid and then rip it back off so you have it there so long and then rip the stitches right back up. Right? There's your there's your spiritual. And then you have to live go round and round. Say because you're biting your own ass. You got the snake serpent around. You say it's chasing its own head, it's chasing its own head. But I guess maybe you could bite because it's round. There's no depth. So it's like biting your own ass. Biting your own face. It's not broken ass. The other day, when it got that heated, it was like things needed to come to the surface. Because between these spirits that just come through us, it was like a fury. There was rage. How do I explain it? Try to figure out how to phrase it. There's a lot of things that need to come to the surface that have not been spoken because it was always buried. That's the part where we don't know, but we see the book. We like it was head to head, toe to toe, and 10 toes to the point where I even threw my glasses on. And that was when I peed myself a few times. And I mean, it wasn't just me, it rushed out. was up right at like night of the day the dance. I told this guy not to ask his sister. His sister's close. And I went out for a smoke because I smoked it. And then all of a sudden I heard a commotion. And then the guy came out, and I found out what happened. And I got so pissed at him that it just pushed right at me. It was like somebody's water breaking. And then another day, I was out in my backyard and I couldn't find my cat. I was holding for it. It wasn't coming. This was about, say, a month and a half before Hurricane Fiona. I was looking for him, and all of a sudden I could not find him. And I could feel the fear building of that something going. And I literally, and then like it was like I knew of the parallel worlds, the dimensions, and those that would have you. And I know that my cat moves between them too. So I was, and at this time I didn't know that like my angels were coming in, like coming in, but it just kept coming in because it was like it was the fear of all parents who have ever lost a child and not being able to find it anywhere and just calling and not finding it. So I had all of it and it all come in and I just started pulling in and I just screamed. And when I screamed, it was like everything just come and it was just like whoosh. And as I was screaming, it was like I feel shaking. It was almost like the ground and sky were shaking at the same time because the entirety of me had that much fear, like that much pain, fear. And when I did that, it just gushed and gushed and gushed and gushed. And then I went around and tried, I was like, the pond, well, maybe he went the pond. And then I heard a sound like, when a cat screeches or something screeches because something got it, it sounded like a cat. And I was like, give him back, give him the fuck back. And I was literally like taking all the bushes. I was just, oh shit. I wonder if my tree was telling me something that got cut and tore apart. Because it was like the tree was being torn apart. It's like the person was angry at somebody for taking them, and my tree represented. See, sometimes we do people feel like, oh, we blame ourselves. Sometimes we're looking for the person. See, that's why I don't have anger to people because I can feel it. See, when you have more than one people going through a loss, whether it be the physical loss or whether it be a loss of someone that is so close but so far away, it's it's two different feelings. Those are things that you can't compare to because I cannot comprehend how someone would feel losing their child. But someone where their child is so close but yet so far away is totally different. It's not the same as someone who is no longer with you. Makes you feel incredibly safe. See, the thing is, they're right there every time you're thinking. That's where you start because they're there to help you. And it's not always somebody that's like right. It could be an ancestor because you carry the spirit that's going on. It's like a narcissist is like people say it's like a sex narcissist. People say they're born like a years much higher. Corolla developed. Okay? Had the story that the girl killed her father and her three stepfathers. Right? Was she born a psychopath? Or was there something going on there and the mother just wasn't fucking listening? See, that's what I get from that story. Because she was trying to run away from her mother. And it showed that, like in the series, that the mother locked her in the attic. She wasn't even allowed a radio with friends. Not saying she wasn't that ill, but she wasn't totally close. But she would get involved in that. You realize how many people have gotten locked in the grave and the madness they would go through, not being able to get out. You know, that's what they do in a psychiatric unit. They take the mattress. It's like they temper tantrum. But do you know that the hospitals and mental health psychiatric units is where you get a lot of spirits? See, what was the sixth book? Because there could be two versions of it. So you read all, or could it be so that your energy doesn't interfere? Because heart to heart is like spirit to spirit. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of time, mind to mind, it's a lot of like most people want to be right. That's why you get the debates going, not realizing that you're both right. You're seeing it from a different perspective. It's the opposite. The bullshit. And it was just 10,000 on my timer as I said that. Please think about it. Should I keep it Surya? And then you see that now, wouldn't that be a glitch in the matrix? The second of God, sit with yourself. When you sit with yourself, that's when you're sitting in spirit, and that's when you get to know something that seems to be God. God is spirit, creator, source, universe, consciousness, because it's all of the above. I just heard somebody say that's another seven. So God talks to you in numbers, and God talks to you in geometric shapes. God talks to you through vibration. lot of people are confused because they're hearing voices. They think they're hearing voices. They'll say to somebody, like, did you just hear that? And somebody says, no. And they keep saying it, and they say, no, it's because you heard on a different frequency connected to whatever party line the vibration was connected. And down here, everything is, it's like one big sort of, gosh, shoot, really, look at you, right now. Jacob's ladder. Jacob's ladder is 33 or 30. You say Christ died at 33. Verse 33. He talks fine. Is whatever it's called, which leads up into the cerebellum, connected to the gate, which receives spike fluid, sugar spike fluid. And it actually has these little spongy, clear, crystal-like things in it. They're like crystal, much like. I know because after my car accident, I spit one out. You tell me how the fuck I would do that. But that's what I did because I was going to take it to the hospital, but because, it wasn't in the proper bottle, they couldn't test it. But they could see, but they couldn't test it. So part of my spiritual warfare was with the system because they kept telling me that I had mental health issues. So they do discriminate. And, people know that, but some people say no. Well, maybe it just doesn't happen to you. It's like most systems, how dare you question me? Or how dare you question my authority? People say that really the cops or the person that they have no right to do what they do because they don't really know what parts of the law. I'm not saying they don't know any of the law, but what parts of the law do they know? Do they know that lawyers know? Because I know, like when you're in government, a lot of the government that commitment here. Well, Trump had a couple of lawyers that were really lawyers. And I know that name is bothersome to people. Trump, 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 Trump. How about I say the little trumpet? He's one of the trumpets. The trumpet sounding? Was it a literal trumpet sound? Or was it just meaning loud and obnoxious sometimes? Especially when it's off key. People say that Golden Key has dementia. Some say he's a singer. See, I see both sides because I see where Donald Trump gets it. Right now, so everything's, yeah, I think somebody said that the new prisons footage, and it was was Donald Trump ever in prison? Even in his like younger days? Because if you watch the series, or not the series, the movie Back to the Future, it says Donald Trump is trying to avoid, which, yeah, he was. Realized he almost looks the same. Just the Photoshop version. Did you catch that? You know, like I want to ask, like, what is Donald Trump doing? Like people say about the baggy suits, but this isn't the shame, because I got that, like right there when I said about it, I got a specific feeling, and it took me to observing someone else. See, Donald Trump wears coats where it's like really, right? They said he had bone spurs. Where were the bone spurs? Were they on his feet? Because is his back, can't it? Yes. Is it? Oh my shit. And there was all ones across the board, so there were 5 ones. Yeah, rethink the height of that. Seriously, boy, it looks like that. go in another timeline and get a version of himself. How about that? That for that person, the more likely it is to see. Because he has the exact same mannerisms too. Boy. You know, I'm allowed to question this. I'm not going to say it's for entertainment purposes only because I'm here to shed some light. And if I'm your entertainment along the way, well, how would you feel it? Is it yeah, I know. Say that again, my comfort. Look at your comfort. This and that. This is part of my spirit. This was given to me by my sister at Christmas time. It was last year. Always my sister, forever my friend. It's that's the part where you're going through different parts, right? So when you realize the parts that okay, it's a spirit shift, there's that create. That's why everybody should like what you perceive to be mental health, they should be trained into understanding what it is you observe so that they can too switch spirit to spirit to make that connection. It's not about wearing the energy and taking it home. It's about balancing the energy. That's what you be working on it, like working with through, you know, balancing our own energy because they say you know, you have a chemical balance. Well, you have an energy imbalance. Because if you ever tell me, oh, you have a chemical imbalance, when are you going to fucking balance the chemical imbalance? Because you got enough fucking drugs to do it, don't you? Or is that just a play on words? Because they don't want to tell you that it's actually your energy, your chakras, opening up the seals to the awakening. So keep you down so you can't see what's going on. And even the people in the system don't even understand what they're seeing. And some just don't want to understand it. It would be more productive if you do. And you won't be taking so much shit home with you. Because I know that for most psychologists or therapists or psychiatrists, their whole life problems not that easy. They're seeing a psychiatrist or psychologist or therapist who realize it. You're just like, they hear you fully before they go write stuff in your book, because they're not doing it before another patient comes in. So how the fuck are they remembering? That's how you get things twisted and intertwined. How there's like intertwined in someone else's written books. If you watched Once Upon a Time, see, that's like one thing that I can use that as an example. Because, right now I'm watching it's the author. They let the author of the book, where the author had got sentenced to the book and was only able to tell the stories transpiring, because in the series Snow White was having a baby and Maleficent was. Snow White wanted her baby not to be evil and set Maleficent's baby already on the but she knew what she was doing. But the author told her to do it. The author read it. The author wrote it in a book which manipulated the timeline. Did you get it yet? People we manipulate a timeline by what we say, how we say it. That's part of the truth. That's how you find your timeline, because you're working to find the truth. You're looking to find you. What everybody says. It's myth. And they tell you that the holistic stuff, that's a myth, that doesn't work. Really say it doesn't work because it threatens those pharmaceuticals, because most people don't even want to be taking a fucking pill. See, the pills and the doctors, like, doctors know, especially the therapists, because I told my therapist, he asked me, like, what do pills do to people like myself? Kill them. It dumbs us down. So when he told me that, where I'm still up, maybe I should take some pills to lower me. Maybe I should switch therapists. But in all honesty, I can't help it because there's more people tuning to spirituality. And if you're not ready for it, you're not going to help your patients to their fullest potential. And if you help them, most likely have no failure. But I have to kind of, why are people so reluctant to face spirit? realize that it's spirit. So it's like that stuff that's just it's, once you realize it, it's just so simple. See, people say, well, I was about to say purple project, but blue green projects or something like that, where they put fake stuff in there. But you know, isn't that up to you? But I'm just sitting in the energy. Yeah, God knows. Yeah. If you would have spiritual to make it to your heaven, you need to see yourself. You need to do that. And people, when I said that, I could feel, I was like, oh, my God. Yeah, they said, so, you know, I guess we're going to let get to that point where you perceive to be a PTSD. And like I said, PTSD is spirit's way of telling you. So, you know, spirit would say, look at yourself. Because if you're forced to look at it, it's looking great because it's going to be that PTSD. And it won't be to punish you. It's to say, hey, you need to see it all. You need to go through those parts so that you can see the true love. Or you were led to believe that it was something else. And I know that people saying, like, what? Like, what? Okay, see, good, they say good always wins, right? Okay, so good always wins. There's something that you're not seeing from the pain and suffering that you went through. You're not seeing what should have been or what was before you were made to forget it again has some other traumatic experience. Okay, think of the system like the military system, okay? I mean, you have the military system. People go in and they sit and they're fine, ready to, and they go through a lot of stuff, and then when they come home, the family unit is all messed up. It becomes abusive, not just one side, but it could be from the other side too, because of that conflict within the person that just came home, consummation. And the system is much like that. The people are misunderstood or intentionally led to believe that they were loved. We know all along the system. The system is your education, justice, spiritual, religious, educational, and forget there's 7 of them. And it's like my brain is it's like the 7 deadly sins. That's the 7 deadly sins. And I did a video before about the 7 deadly sins, about it being all the systems, right, to the Sexual Sterilization Act, which would represent the sacred chakra. I just call it root chakra. But it works, it's like it works its way up. See, the spiritual warfare is trying to show you what the kingdom of God really represents. What you perceive it to mean. It's the kingdom of God that you make it. You make the kingdom of God. There are people that you just kind of just shut me off right there because your biblical text or your priest or pastors or what have you tells you different. And that's how to believe this way, but if you're not spiritual experiences, you think it's religious because that's a bunch of metaphors and words. And so if they're in church and they're not playing on words, you're not supposed to figure it out for yourself. Describe it. Yeah. The other day it was almost like a mother and a son or a parent and a child. I said a parent and a child kind of dipped, but I said mother and a son. I can feel them. Because I know, like, that's why I say I understand the spirit. And it is in ways that they don't know what they say or do. So to the witnesses, it's you know what you're saying, you know what you're doing. There's many people explaining that if people don't get it by now, then I guess you're responsible, right? So how are you able to use that in a court of law, that what how they put it, temporary insanity. I know what temporary insanity would be. If someone was raped and then fucking like everything was brutal, that's a temporary insanity of the time. Because you just like I'm talking the ones where they use mental state with regards to the voices. The rape is the physical, physical reaction. Mental part of the voice, like the voices, that's more of the psychological because the voices with the voices goes to the brains and the eyes. So that's where you have that perceived psychotic episode because your eye is open and you're seeing spirit to spirit. And those spirits have a link with one another. So those spirits we see and it just takes over because there's rage, there's anger, there's hatred. And that's where you get those words. You know, some people may say, like, oh, you see a rape. You're not allowed to say rape. What I'm going to tell you that, you know, they got raped or let me rub some grapes on you, let me throw a grape at you. Seriously, who are you softening these things for? The system. The system that doesn't want you speaking up about it in the first place? Isn't there an outrage of what just transpired in the court? Are you going in the courtroom and saying, oh, well, so and so raped this person? Fuck no. Ugh. That's spiritual warfare. It's like, what are you pushing at? No, I never. Necesito tren, necesito tren. Yeah. Yeah. It's like everything shifting. It's like you see a movement, bringing it all forward. Yeah, anything. Yeah, it's close to the spirit is gonna get rid of going through my spiritual awakening, and I had to clean up a freaking mess. And it was like I had like my room, I had the bed frame, and inside, and I had all of my stuff in the middle of it. And I mean, I'm talking about clothes and bedclothes and stuff like that, but the clothes that I had, holy shit, man. And it's like not so bad, but I have to go through them because it's like the pack rat with the ants. Okay, we have things because it makes us feel good. Sometimes we feel like, oh, well, I like that, so I might wear it someday. But if you haven't worn it in years, so what happens? It's not good to go. But I know that yes, fashion changes. But see, it's not that fashion changes; it's your taste. Your taste changes because the same clothes are still out there. You just have to find the stores that still have them. So fashion never goes out of style, just for you and maybe others like you because you're changing. So, and that's going to be probably hard on my spirit because I got to force spirit to let go of those parts of that spirit. It feels like it has to hold on to it because I started doing that today. And it was like I just kept piling things back on as if to keep them. But spirit got to be honest with itself. So that's the part where we need to talk about, like, talk about food that things don't make new. It's like old those old pairs of socks that have holes in them. I have a few of those, and I got rid of them. And the reason why I have the holes is because I'm walking on a floor where there's a nail sticking up and it won't stay down. And it fits. They said about I don't want to do it, and then then the floor fall in on me. Just kidding. So it's know, that's part of the spiritual warfare because that's the part where you're at war with yourself. It's not just being at war with the spirits of there. It's the one within. So, but just know that, like, the spiritual warfare, it's you with yourself too. That's what the shadow is. It's working in your how often, like, when you're looking at the ground, how often do you see the shadow trying to push you, walks with you? That's why I've been winning. This is here. It's all over. Some people say, "Oh, why?" Or maybe you just forgot. It's like last night. He said on his thing, the humidity was 90, but on my thing, it was 65. So I was like, well, when are you going to go on? Well, automatically, it was his because it was 90, but it wasn't 90. It was 65 because I heard it in the door. This was what it was. It was two spirits. Because I said, like, I feel that, like, like, holy shit, man. I was being told to close my door. And when I lived in a place, when I moved from the country and I moved into the city, I went into this, I said, the parking on top, one on top of the other. There's two apartments. And my landlord lived next door. And I would have my door open, and he would come over and tell me to close my door. It's that part of, you sit with the Lord. Sorry, I'll pass on you. But that's what you feel like, owning that thing. You're being true like shit. Your mortgage to the hills with the landlord. Rolled over. Just like, asking a legitimate question. Getting it. Like your Lord and Savior, how's that working out for you? Because it looks like that Lord and Savior, and I'm not talking about Jesus or Yeshua, but was Jesus really the Antichrist? Some people say he was Lucifer, but was he Lucifer? Because Michael's heart was so not going like rude and I love Michael talking about Archangel Monkey. Dance monkey dance! Let's dance together, dude! Seriously, because they said that Jesus is Mary Magdalene's son. So was Michael really Lucifer's mother? You say that that, that God kicked Cain out of heaven. Why did God kick Cain out of heaven? Because he said Abel. But was there more to it? Did the mother not believe that Abel may have done something to his sister? team reacted on it, and she couldn't believe that, right? That's not conceivable. That's bliss. Sure will that. Do you not think that will be key using the other perspective? It's that part that some people think that oh, you should decide the golden rule or the golden that happens in a lot of families. And that's another form of spiritual warfare because it doesn't just take a toll on you, it takes a toll on everyone. But they want to see that because it's spiritually what was trying to cover things because that way they figure we can get people behind, like my psychic drone, face in the door, and then they're going to get you through the channel. And our back door, and then the chimney represents the back door. See, a lot of people don't see things from that perspective because they're too busy overcomplicating everything and wondering why they're not getting it or why they keep running products, especially here with technology, especially with remotes and stuff. How the fuck you use this? You get a $2,000 phone and you probably don't even know how to use it. You know how to take a picture and fucking dial a number and face chat or scroll through your shit. Other than that, you don't know what the fuck you're supposed to do. Maybe I lost some people just when I said that, my channel's not for everyone. You love me, hate me, like me, loathe me, make you laugh, make you cry, and I'll fucking piss you off. But if I get a reaction, then I'm doing it, and that's to help you see the light. It's like I am the mirror, I am a reflection. And so, when I first started going through it, and I was staying in my trailer, I felt the energy. The energy was shifting. Sometimes it felt like it was coming in, and sometimes it felt like it was going out. It was like, holy shit, man, what a fucking on balance. In, out, in, out, in, out. Like, shit, man. And sometimes it was just like the body, just like what you see now, and then the spirits and my ancestors from mother and stuff like that, and spirit, they come and they say, Terry, you just gotta just lay back, hold on. Just, so they kind of hold me there. So I had to get to that point where it's like that cramp till it freaking lets go. Like, what you witnessed with me here. And then I get irritated because it's like more than it's two or more of them freaking duking it out with one another, just like that. It's like if you don't want to stay out, let's just burn it, go throw up. My channel is a spirit to spirit. So if anyone takes it personally, that's actually on you because I make it perfectly clear that this is a spiritual spirit channel. See, I know there's like ones that go to people that connect with lost loved ones. I'm here to teach you how to do that for yourself so that you can actually speak heart to heart, spirit to spirit. But it's first understanding that when you start hearing spirit, it can start coming in at you all at once. Because all those versions of yourself, the messages that you're searching for, it's gonna start coming in at a rapid rate. But it's up to you first to get right with yourself, to get right with why it is that you want to communicate or hear from your ancestors or loved ones. That's the first thing you need to do. Because as you do that, they'll speak to you through your heart, through your healing. When you're sitting there and you start thinking about that person, ask yourself, why? Like, what is it, first off, what are you thinking about with regards to that person? Is it a happy thought or is it something that needs to be healed? Because when you're experiencing that, that's that spirit there that's telling you, like, I'm here to help work through it because I'm hurting. It's that not getting closure or, unfinished business, untold stories. Because you're going to duke it out in spirit. And you're going to experience it physically within yourself. But you have to allow yourself to experience those feelings and emotions and you're not to take it over to deserve it. It's like keep your hands to yourself. But you really, it's that part of you got to spiritually duke it out. And I know that many are understanding. It's making sense. It's not. It's still, you're still denying yourself that, that connection to who it is that you're searching for. Because in the end, the one you're searching for, it's always going to be yourself. Because it's always that part of you. That's why you see the sun because it reminds you of yourself. those of you who have come in, thank you. I hope that this has at least even helped you see something smidgen different. Because for some, they figure it happens overnight, but you go through it and there's times, depending on what your ancestral line was like or went through, how they handled it. But don't ever the same thing as, like I said, looks like you travel through time and just not aware of or understanding it. That's most when you start seeing people that you know, and it's whether they look older or whether it is that you're seeing this person in their younger years. You've just gone back and you had that experience for a reason. It was telling you something, showing you something. To get it. But you'll still remember to say it is like fiction. It is that person that spirit took you there to show you something. Spirit says wanting to realize what it's showing you. Because it's if you see the other version of something new, you'll be there to really confront the things with spirit's not showing you anything to hurt you. It's helping you to see truth, your truth, your ancestors' truth. And the truth of all of our ancestors is we all had a making this mess. So it's up to everyone else to clean it somewhat like what I just said. If you think your ancestors were perfect, I'm here to tell you they weren't, because they were my ancestors too, and they remain perfect because we're all connected, because we're the same people that's always been here just traveling and duplicating themselves back in time. It's celebrated. It's true what happened. It's real. Some people even, it's like shit. I wonder how like some people come and say, oh, you get a kid. Spirits like, hey, it's time to take a little walk down memory lane because a filing cabinet is going to explode because you're putting too much in it. It's overloading. You get sick. Your body feels beat, battered, bruised. That's your spirit. It's experiencing information because you're aura. You can beat up your aura or someone else beats it up. That's when you find the balance, the so-called chemical imbalance, the chemical equilibrium. Ay, sure. I do, but being authentic, like you just get in the groove of the music. Like right now, I can just sit, put yourself in a vibrating mode. Yeah. Even make the sounds if you have to. Have a little fun with it. It's actually therapeutic. People sit there and they move their legs. It's because they're taking the concentration off of the mind and trying to put it somewhere else. Or sometimes it's even a nervous behavior. Same. See, this is how I see it, how spirit's showing me. And it's from the perspective of my ancestors, how they perceived it, and all versions of my ancestors. Because think of it this way, everybody was married into so God didn't make you. You say genetics, but it's actually generations. And I know somebody just laughed because that's what it means. But it's not in the medical sense, because most things, unless it's a physical cut, comes from the spirit. So when you start going spirit to spirit with people, that's when you start to really understand things better. And people can laugh at it. That's fine. Not what you know, what you yeah, not what you don't know. you say, because in the end, you're responsible for yourself. And people think, well, that's really harsh, or that's really rude. If you have mental health problems, I just told you what mental health problems are. You need to open your spirit. You want to heal, you have to see what you're healing from. It's like this guy singing, I'm just a man. Well, what type of man are you? What do you perceive to be a man? Yeah, it's like, oh, it's like, expand, expand. It's like the Grinch who stole Christmas, and when his heart just pumps right out, bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's just like boom. And it will give. I have hazelnut milk, and I put it in my coffee. And holy shit, it gurgled right to the bottom. So I stir it, and like it just like it kind of went beady. Yeah, I don't care. I get it here. Here where I went. Oh, I was somewhere yesterday, and I was talking to this person that would go like this, stand there. So I said, like, an office, and go like this in my ear, and it was. I told her like, hey, like my ears itchy. Like, yeah, do we got bugs down there? Hello, hello. Maybe it is a bug. Oh no, that's right. They were saying that they were putting up the nose. Right? You know, I'm gonna leave it there. It's like, you know, if people want to talk, let me know in comments on one of my things. about like Zoom, if anybody would go in and what you want to talk about or hear about or share. It's annoying when people is you know, there's someone that's close to me that, you know, I think they fear, it's like they fear success or they fear moving forward or allowing others to move forward because they feel that they would be left behind. But it's that part of, you know, you're just as advanced. You just need to get the fuck out of your own way and realize that because we hold back our own potential. We just keep saying it's like that part of, and I say it over and over again. People say, "Oh, fake it till you make it." Well, it's about time you stop faking it and really start making it. Experience it, you know, takes work, but once you put in the work, then it becomes a flow. Not saying that you wouldn't have like things that it's that part of, you know, you're gonna have more of a flow because when you come to that hurdle, you're going to be able to move over it without resistance because you're always already going to realize that, hey, I already experienced this, why am I experiencing it again? Wait, oh right. So then you do or approach it differently. So with that being said, send you all much love, light, many blessings, most importantly, very good health to anyone and everyone wanting to really receive yourself. How much all you feel grateful for yourself, your true kind to yourself, true kind to others, and know that you have more strength and power than you have influence. And when you get in that moment where you think that you can't, how do I perceive it? Not you can't, you feel at a standstill, always know that it's just about all you have to do is just step back from it, go within, and look at the bigger picture. Some people say go least resistant. Well, if you go least resistant, then you're starving yourself from actually learning things that may be a little more resistant or a little more hard, a little harder, because that's what you really not taking it easy. I love you all. Have a great weekend.